When you think about Satanism, blood diamonds, war crimes, and cocaine, is this what usually comes to mind?
In this week's episode, we're reviewing a warlord whose life and career provide one of the richest tales of the bizarre to come out of the last 20 years. This guy makes David Koresh look like a fat kid in a sailor suit sucking on a lollipop. And yet, when I mention him to people, they almost always say, "Who the hell is Joshua Blahi?" Joshua Blahi hails from a part of Africa which he would eventually help to become one of the most troubled areas of a troubled continent, Liberia. Though he did some of his greatest work in Sierra Leone, a place which he made so bleak that the average person's lifespan at the height of his career was lower than a medieval peasant in the fucking Dark Ages. Like a lot of warlords in Africa's recent history, Joshua Blahi waved an AK-47 around and generally murdered and mutilated whoever he saw while funding his adventures through illicit gains. In his case, selling off diamonds that he got through mines captured by his army of coke-addicted adults and children. Though his profit margins were only surpassed by his crimes against humanity, this is not what makes him worth covering. It's that he was crazier than a dog with two cats strapped to its ass, and he did it with style. Though involved with a mixture of voodoo and Christianity from a very young age, what really set the rocket off was when young Joshua Blahi hit age 11, and he was contacted by the devil. Not by telepathy in his head, or maybe he found some writing in the sand, or a shape in his piece of toast. No, the devil did what any sensible person would do and gave Joseph a little ring. Said to Joseph, "Please, could you go out there and sacrifice children, eat their hearts for me, and while you're at it, could you do it completely in the nude?" Which is, of course, what led to Joshua Blahi's famous moniker of General Butt Naked. With such qualifications, should it come as any surprise that during the years between this phone call and when he became a warlord proper, Joseph Blahi was the head religious advisor in Liberia? His nudity, but for a pair of shoes, was designed to give him supernatural protection from bullets. In a similar vein, sometimes he and his followers would instead wear women's dresses, and bridal dresses usually, and blonde wigs, to attempt to confuse the bullets, because of course they're made to kill men, not women. The most common uniform of General Butt Naked's men, or those of any of his contemporaries, was actually that of most teenagers: old American t-shirts. How do you tell one band of murderous coke addicts from another band of murderous coke addicts? Well, you just see which one of them is wearing the two-pack shirt, the Biggie Smalls shirt, or the Titanic movie poster shirt. Sure, Genghis Khan conquered more of the earth than any one leader of men, but did he do it while rocking Biggie Smalls? Yes, General Butt Naked had his style somewhat bit by all of his contemporaries, such as General's Dragon Master, No Mother, No Father, Housebreaker, the fellow whose name is also humble request, General Fuck Me Quick, and the fellow who arguably comes in second place to General Butt Naked in both evil and audacity, General Peanut Butter, who's remarkable for years after the party in Sierra Leone got busted up, going over to Liberia, finding God, of course, and running for the presidential elections in 2005 under the slogan, "Let him butter your bread." It took a long time, but eventually the UN managed to break up these band of fun-loving little kids and bring them in for trial. Like any number of murderous psychopaths forced to face the law for their own terrible crimes, Joshua Blahi found God. Whether this was through a phone call or a text message is yet to be determined. While on trial earlier this year for murdering 20,000 children and eating their hearts, alongside other campsite activities, Joshua Blahi made the following quote. "I could be electrocuted, I could be hanged," he said, "but I think forgiveness and reconciliation is the way to go." Yeah, so the man that made Lord Humongous seem reasonable thinks that forgiveness and reconciliation is the way to go. Yeah. Okay, well, and he found God recently? Okay, well, he's going to lose a few points there, I'm afraid, for having such tired and predictable techniques, but I think that he's still got a pretty good overall score, given all of his other extracurricular activities. What I'm getting at here in my own long-winded way, ladies and gentlemen, is simply this. Do not invite Joshua Blahi to your pizza party.
Your homework for this week is to fill your mouth with peanut butter and try saying "fat child in a sailor suit sucking a lollipop" 3 times fast.